Well, I am Rhonda Jones. I am a realtor for 24 years and I live in Academy Sherman Park neighborhood in the city. I love it, love it, love it. I'm a mother, a wife, a grandmother, and a community leader, I guess, sponsor, supporter. I'm about my community.
What is your personal story or history with Academy Park? What does it mean to you, community?
I love Academy Sherman Park. I've been here 22 years, 23 years, and it is a great place to live, to work, and to we are working on playing. To me, it's a community, a neighborhood. It's the people, my neighbors, and the people that live in this neighborhood truly care about each other and the well-being of our families. That's what it's really about. It's about the people. And the reason that I'm so adamant about, I guess, putting in the work is because there's so few of us doing the work and it's so many people needed and you can see the impact, and that's what I like about it. I like the people and affecting the people. When somebody needs something, we're there for each other. When we celebrate, we're there for each other, and it's a great place. The people, it's the people.
What was it like growing up here?
I didn't grow up here. I've been here as an adult. My family has been in the house 70 years. And the seniors that lived here before I did, well, in generations, the people that lived here right before me had children that grew up here and they loved it. My aunt moved here with 6 children into this big house, and it was the family house for them. I had a family in North County at that time, and then when I moved here, it just became the family house. Everybody comes here. We have all of our holidays here, or most of them, and it's about the character. They love it. They do the slide in the foyer, and we everybody gathers in the room. It's about the family. It's a family neighborhood, and our culture is here. You know what I'm saying? If you've been somewhere for 70 years, it's about you.
How has your experience as a realtor influenced you as a community member and a leader?
I think the fact that I'm a realtor was one of the reasons that I actually accepted the challenge of the house. When I was going through my divorce, the house was for sale, and I had just gotten in the business. And my aunt gave me the listing out of good faith. Her grown children lived here. Every time I put the sign in the yard, the kids took the sign out. Every time I brought somebody to see the house, I would have to come with them. And I walked them through. And by the time I got to the third floor, I'd be crying in tears. I couldn't sell this house. I would start having dreams about the house. And the Lord told me to put a roof on a house that I didn't even own. And I was like, oh my God. And at that time, my husband said I would never live in the city. We lived in the county. It ultimately, I got this house and put the roof on and did everything. So and I think I grew up here because it was the first time I was alone. So I did grow up here.
As a realtor, how what do you say to people who are interested in maybe purchasing a property or making investments in the neighborhood or just really these neighboring communities along Delmar, both sides of Delmar?
So I am the chairperson of the Housing Planning and Development Committee for Academy Sherman Park neighborhood. So I am a champion for Academy. I have sold several properties to and from people in the neighborhood. And I can give my own testimony about the safety, about the value, square footage wise, room size, character wise. You're not going to find a better home in St. Louis than in Academy. We have 3 levels of brick deep, 40 feet high, 3,600 square feet, and uh, big lots. So the value is there. And every place in the city, when I sell, I always instruct my clients to look at it block by block because things turn over and the city is changing. And so if you go on Saturday or if you go after work and check out your neighborhood, make sure that you feel comfortable, talk to the people, then you have a sense of security. Because when people walk up and down the street and talk to us, we start asking them questions. What are you doing here? What do you want? You know, if somebody pulls up on our streets, we are our own advocates for making sure it's safe. If I see somebody at Kings Highway sitting on the stump, then we say, hey, we don't want you sitting on our stump. Can you move, keep it moving? You know, and people respect when you respect yourself. I've learned that here because when I first moved here, there were three crack houses on this street, and that's been 20 years ago. That reputation has not been healed, right? But there are things the city works with you, and we had a phone chain list where if one person saw something that was undesirable, we would call everybody, and everybody would call the police, and that makes the police come. And so we actually closed down all three of those houses with the nuisance law. Find out, understand, and learn what the laws are to help you and protect you. And sometimes you have to work for your value. If you move in, or I moved in here, I think I paid 60,000 when I bought it from my aunt. If you move into a big giant house, $60,000 with the um, potential to be worth as much as the other houses on the other side of Delmar, then you may have to do some extra calling and extra connecting to your neighbors to know who's supposed to be here, right? Because when someone who's not supposed to be here, you need to know so you can, raise your flags because it happens all over the city, all over the world. It's just where it's advertised or promoted more. I think our neighborhood doesn't have as much crime as other neighborhoods, but because of our past history, anytime something happens that's highlighted, it attaches to your old reputation. And we have a new reputation, and we are doing everything we can to promote and secure quality tenants and to make people who have respect for home ownership and respect for community that are involved, we want them to want to come, and we are very diverse. Oh my God. If you check the demographics, it's amazing in the last 10 years. And I mean, you wouldn't believe, I mean, 10 years. We've got on my block, we've got Asian, we've got Mexican, we've got Black, we've got European, we've got, my daughter told me the correct way to say, you can't say Iranian. You're supposed to say Middle Eastern. We've got Middle Eastern families, and we all connect. And what we've learned is that everybody is the same. Everybody has the same needs and wants for a great place to live, work, and play. I'm working on trying to get us a dog park. We are working on trying to identify our commercial development so we can bring some support inside the neighborhood. We've got youth in need at the end of my block, and we've got so many opportunities for development. As the housing planning and development, we work the vacancy initiative, and we are involved in at least three properties where we are developing them through other contractors. And so, because our break is over, we're ready to jump back in and get those things going.
Are you optimistic about the future of the neighborhood?
So much, yes, optimistic. So much so that I think I'm going to build me a house here with no stairs. Yes, I'm optimistic. Our prices, our values have increased, and our services have increased. We have an arrangement or a MOU with Park Central, and the seniors are taken care of. Park Central provided snow. We didn't have a lot, but we had a couple of snows this year. Provides lawn service, all kinds of extracurricular. When we were in COVID, they were delivering baskets. And so it's not just um, safety, it's also quality of life. Although safety is a part of your quality of life, it's just that living, we have so many seniors, we don't want to displace people. as part of our development, we'd like to create some senior housing like everybody else. The thing that I'm optimistic about, and as I drive around, is you see so much going on around you. I would like to be a catalyst in the collaboration to understand how to bring that into Academy, how to bring it to the inside. The corridor is amazing. I am on the Delmar Main Design Committee, so that keeps me informed about what's going on along Delmar. Went and walked through the neighborhood along Delmar on Monday. We had our meeting, and they talk safety and all those things that are happening on the corridor will roll into the community as it happens, because we've got to be involved in order to bring it in. So yeah, very optimistic.
What is your message to potential home buyers or real estate developers who would like to make that investment or home purchase here in this neighborhood, but who are deterred by sort of the narrative about communities north of Delmar or along Delmar?
I feel pretty confident in um, encouraging the developers to seek out long term, because it's not a short term project unless you have a lot of money. Our property values are increasing. The opportunities within the city are increasing with all these grants. You could do a grant and fix up a building and sell it. You could work through HP. You could do tax sales and purchase a building. There's all different kinds of ways to get the actual product. But once a developer gets the product, they've got to go through the community, because Academy Sherman Park works with the city to make sure that the community wants what they want, what the developers want to bring. We've not had a flood of developers at this moment. We're searching for developers because we have so much inventory to develop. We try not to destroy our buildings because they are historically correct. Some of the most beautiful architecture in St. Louis is in Academy. Um, we've had house fairs, house tours, and things like that. And we've had open houses for our developers. Those three buildings that we have developers working on were held open. We had several ranges of open houses so they could come and walk through and give bids and then make the actual application. And that is listed on our webpage at Academy Sherman Park, aspna.org. There's a link to a developer's application.
More questions. Do you have any words of advice for community leaders or community figures such as yourself and your in our adjacent communities about the future or about how to organize the community?
The advice I have is build your team, because people burn out. We've been going nonstop since when COVID hit. We wanted to go online so we could stay connected, and we've been going nonstop. People have families, issues, and things. They come and they go. So I would say try to build your team and connect with other associations for advice. We need to do more of that ourselves. Um, Look at your stakeholders and your community supporters, but you really need to work with, say, starting with the block units, and grow from there, so that you have people involved that buy into the entire thing. Our board is of 9 members, and we usually have maybe 30, 40 people on our monthly video call. I'm ready to go back in person where we had more people involved, because, like I said, if you don't have the wherewithal within the community to connect digitally, it's not going to do you any good. So we need to do hybrid, in person, and that would be an advice. Do hybrid. We need feasibility studies. I would say if you're getting ready to attack a neighborhood, and that's what it is, it's an attack. Attack that neighborhood with information. WashU's got information. It tells you what your demographics are. It tells you the services that are being used, and I'm sure you guys have all that. Um, do grants for feasibility study. That's our next step, is to try to get a feasibility study so that we can find out what makes sense and have some control over it instead of it all happening to us.
Do you have any final thoughts or words you'd like to say?
I'd like to say thank you for listening to my humble opinion, and I appreciate the input that we get and the support that we get from WashU as well as our other stakeholders. I think it's easier when you have support. Everything is easier when you have a team, and I consider WashU would be a part of our team. You've been with us since we connected, at least 3 or 4 years, because before you we had Jeff, and so those kinds of things have provided us invaluable support. The support for the website, the internship. Actually, WashU gave us an intern one time, and you could do that again, David. That's all I'd like to say. Thank you. Our neighborhood is a great place to play, work, and grow. Bring your family. If you need an agent, call Rhonda Jones, 314-341-3997.